Hey, you're wide receiver Khalil Shakir, right?
I sure am, kid. Here, go long.
Whoa! You're pretty good at football, man.
And you guys are pretty good at pizza.
Oh, sick. Dude.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Picasso's Pizza post-game show. Get your Picasso's Pizza anywhere nationwide and in Western New York. The Buffalo Bills stomped the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. The final score, 47-10, and it was never close. I mean, what a night. What more could you ask for from a Monday Night Football game, right? Like, what more could you ask for from a primetime Bills performance coming into this season, week 3, seeing Jacksonville on the schedule? And the Bills dominated immediately, scored touchdowns on their first 5 drives of the game. 5 different touchdown scores. Josh Allen had 4 touchdown passes in the first half alone. This game was a beatdown. This game was an absolute beatdown of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL is on notice for how dominant this Buffalo Bills team has looked to start the season, because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Buffalo Bills have looked like the most impressive team in the NFL through the first 3 games. There's no question about it. They are the best team in the league right now, and that doesn't mean much in September, but it's a fact. Like that needs to be described as a fact. And the other part of that is the MVP of the league is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the MVP of the league right now. Tonight, 23 of 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns. Another game where he was ruthlessly efficient, an efficiency monster while going for those kill shots. He also had 6 carries for 44 yards, a couple outstanding scrambles that he had in this game, a run up the middle for a first down. He was in control the whole time. He is the MVP of the league as of today. We'll make the MVP odds. We'll update them later in the week, but I believe I saw a tweet earlier that said Allen was, I believe, plus 220, plus 225 in the middle of this game, and Mahomes was plus 220 last week for MVP. So Allen might be the MVP favorite by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, and he deserves it. He was amazing again tonight. And you want to talk about the notion everybody eats. Let's talk about everybody eats. I'm counting here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different Bills with a reception tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, let me make sure I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Bills with a touchdown. Ray Davis getting his first career touchdown. Keon Coleman with his first career touchdown. Kincaid and Shakir got in on the action. Nice play there. Ty Johnson with a catch in the end zone on Allen's last touchdown there. And then Ray Davis in garbage time. 6 different Bills scoring in this game. It's what they've preached all year long. Everybody eats. Everybody's going to get their touches. And Allen has no problem distributing to all these guys. Shakir is the clear number 1, 6 catches, 72 yards today with that touchdown. James Cook, even though he didn't have a great day running, 11 carries for 39 yards, so the average is down a little bit, did get the touchdown. 4 catches for 48 yards make up for it. If you're getting 15 touches for 90 yards, I'll take that from James Cook every single game. And 15 touches, honestly, 15 touches should be the minimum for our guy James Cook. I mean, this was a rough game for him, and he's putting up 90 yards. Like, what are we talking about here? Kincaid still hasn't even had the breakout game, but 3 for 41 for a touchdown. He'll take that every time. Coleman's only catch was the touchdown, but hey, he's not having to show out and be a star. He's going to be groomed into that role. And honestly, the slot guys and those guys playing in the middle field are more valuable in this year's NFL, the way the league has gone, the way the offense has gone, which people have to apologize for the Bills for that, because the Bills were ahead of the curve there and have clearly been ahead of the curve for the beginning of this year. And we'll see if teams ever catch up to them. But Shakir is the perfect guy for it. And man, those screen passes sometimes, he's just right behind Deion Dawkins, following him in. I'd follow the big man too, you know? Like, I get it. But hey, man, like, it's amazing to see Shakir. We were all so excited about him going into the season, and to see him kind of playing out the way this it has so far is awesome, man. Like, he is he's going to be a household name, and it's well deserved. That man works his ass off, and it shows in the results. He's their number one receiver by far. Teams look like they're still trying to take away Kincaid, and they can't. Like, he's going to be unlocked at some point in one of these games, but the Bills offense just is going to attack you so many different ways, man. Joe Brady had them dizzy, back and forth. It's the horizontal attacks. It's the motion to give Josh and unlock some of his options and give him some more information. James Cook being the weapon that he is. The Bills basically traded a number one all-time, like all-pro wide receiver and said, we'll just take a top 5 back and maybe a top 5 tight end and replace it with that and see how it goes. And that's where we're at. Samuel looks a little more explosive today in his touches. I'm interested to see how they try to get him unlocked some more. But really, there was no answer for Josh Allen in this offense. It's really easy to talk about. We'll talk about it more in the podcast tomorrow. But that was, I mean, he's the MVP. That's all there is. And the defensive side of the ball, man. Von Miller, 3 sacks in 3 games. Huge, bro. Von Miller has looked awesome to start this year. Javon Solomon getting a strip sack in this game, in his first career game. I mean, awesome to see there. Ingram with a sack on a nice blitz they sent in. Tuhill got credit for a sack. Epineza with a sack. 5 sacks. This defensive line took over again, but really there was no answers. Like, it was one good drive from the Jags in the third quarter. The Bills shut it down after that. Lawrence looked terrible. 21 of 38 for 178. He had the pick. Damar Hamlin. Can't believe I haven't said that yet. Damar Hamlin with his first career interception. I mean, what a story. That's amazing. Like, how awesome is that for Damar to get that in this game? ETN had an effective day, but a lot of that was garbage time too. Christian Kirk was honestly the top target. Brian Thomas Jr., 5 catches, 48 yards. Gabe Davis in the return game, nothing much, 2 for 18. Benford had a lockdown on Thomas Jr. a lot though, but they were attacking Cam Lewis there in the slot with Christian Kirk, finding some success there. Other notes here that I have, Tyler Bass missing the extra point, not good, but hit his 2 kicks. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, the extra point was blocked. Shouldn't say it was a miss. Codrington with a nice return on the punt. Yeah, it's all around, all facets of the game. The Buffalo Bills dominated this matchup. They put the league on notice. Like, we do power rankings here at Trainwreck. We vote. It's a select group of individuals that vote on their top teams. And the Bills were number 2 unanimously this week. And as one of those voters, I'll give away that information here. Obviously, I'm one of the voters. As one of those voters, how are you not going to put the Bills 1 this week? After the way Atlanta looked, or the way the Chiefs looked in Atlanta and the way the Bills look tonight, the Bills are the most impressive team in the league. And we'll learn a lot next week, depending on the situation with Justin Herbert and the Chiefs there. But the Bills in Baltimore, if the Bills can get that win, imagine this. Imagine the scenario we're here next Sunday night, and the Bills have defeated the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, and they are 4-0 to start the season going into Houston. No one would have accepted that. People would have called you crazy if you said that before the season, and that's what we're staring at now. The 3-0 Buffalo Bills, one of the only 3-0 teams in the league, probably the most impressive team in the league. Josh Allen is the MVP candidate. This defense is elite from all standards. Everybody eats actually means something. 10 different guys with a catch, 6 different guys with a touchdown. They have a superstar running back in James Cook. They have a superstar tight end in Dalton Kincaid, and potentially a superstar receiver in our guy, Khalil Shakir. It's best case scenario for the Buffalo Bills. If you're the Buffalo Bills right now, it's best case scenario. If you're a fan, there's nothing more you could have asked for. MVP Josh Allen season. Defensive looks elite. Defensive line looks elite, and they're surviving multiple injuries, even more injuries than they had before. Everybody's eating on offense. James Cook looks like a superstar. The offensive line, haven't even mentioned them. Again, Allen was clean in this game. 5 sacks for the Bills defense. You want to know how many sacks the Jags defense had? 0. You want to know how many turnovers Josh Allen had today? 0. Clean games. No sacks, no turnovers. Not letting teams stay in these games. Not letting an inferior team stay in this game for any reason. 5 touchdowns in the first 5 drives, man. It feels different. It feels different. And we're going to be looking at a game next week where the Bills could be 4-0 in a position where no one thought they were going to be 4-0. And if they beat Ravens, even though they got to win this week, pretty desperate to stay in that lead, especially depending on, I don't even know what's going on in this game. The Bengals are going to lose down by 12. The AFC is there for the taking. If you take out the Ravens and get up 3 games on them too, it's really just a Bills and Chiefs world. That's what it feels like in this AFC right now. Unless you really believe in the Steelers, that's what it feels like. Maybe the Jets. That'll be a huge game in a couple weeks. Maybe that Jets matchup will be huge. Maybe it'll be the 5-0 Bills versus the 4-1 Jets. Maybe it's that Texans team. Maybe the Texans are those guys. I don't think it's the Texans or the Jets. I think it's the Bills and the Chiefs. I think the Bills, if you've watched, it's been the privilege of watching full Sundays of NFL football the last couple weeks while the Bills have been in prime time. It looks like a lot of mid compared to this Bills team. It just doesn't look the same. It's just a feeling. I try to call it objectively. I said they'd be 12-5 at the beginning of the year. I thought they would lose this game against Baltimore. Might still pick Baltimore when we get down to the predictions, honestly. But for a night and for this week, talking the NFL should be the Buffalo Bills, and they should be considered the best team in the league right now because they're playing the best football, and Josh Allen is the MVP. And that's where I'm going to leave you off with our Picasso's postgame show. Enjoy a Victory Tuesday tomorrow, and we'll be back with Pay the Bills podcast tomorrow night at 7 Eastern for an exciting episode, man. We're gonna have a time. It's gonna be a great time. Nothing bad to talk about. All vibes. So thank you for joining the Picasso's post-game show. This is Jake Micah signing off. Have a good night, folks, and go Bills.